I've seen a lot of things change. I've seen a lot of things change. I've seen a lot, and I have a good memory for what I did see. You want to walk?
Yeah, we do.
I was a rock fiend. When my dad started prospecting, I have to tell you, I was in my element. And I said, Daddy, please let me go one summer instead of you.
Yeah.
And he did, he let me. If you're a person like myself, it goes beyond seeing it just in the human form. You recognize life in the tree, life in every element. We're all interconnected. Our cells are connected.
And you said that the rocks spoke to you.
They did.
And
they did speak to me, you know. I mean, I'd be sitting there and looking at them, you know, and I'd see how the moss had changed over time. I'd see how, you know, I'd see moss moved. Then, oh yeah, this moved a little bit. Somebody had walked over that. A creature, perhaps, right? And sure enough, I'd be following. I'm not as good at it anymore. It's been a little while since I've been really. You have to be living it to have all your senses out. Mm-hmm. Somehow, some of that goes to sleep. You need to use what what you're working with. On different occasions, there were different stories that were told to me. Sometimes it would tell me the story of I would see how the beginnings of life managed to find its webbed feet and break through it. I mean, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. It all starts. I mean, look at these little. This is all started off from a piece of rock. Hard for me to explain how it told me. I just instinctively reacted to it. Lichen tells a good story too, you know. I mean, I remember how the color of it changed up on our rocks at home. Our property, it had a beach. We didn't know it had a beach when we first got there. It was so overgrown and whatnot. But there was a flat bedrock piece sticking just about that much above the lake line at the time. Mm-hmm. And a nice boulder. I loved that boulder. That told me every year the changes of the lake. I chose to stay here because for me, it's the right place to be. It's for my soul. I get moments when I can tell ahead of time something that's going to be. It doesn't happen good like that now, but at that time it was more frequent. And because of these feelings, the rocks were giving me those kind of feelings at times too. I get into a trance easily. You know, I do. If I would stare long enough, you know, I'd be getting visions. I'd be seeing eagles. I had a very good imagination, but sometimes I don't know how much was imagination or just an ability to pick up some historic and past the vibrations of. I don't believe we're gone when we're gone. I believe that we're in another element, that we are interconnected with what we don't see. And I think these past, what we don't see, somehow in some ways become our guardians and direct us. That's what I believe. They do. I really do believe that. The rocks, they saved me many times. They did. I don't know how to explain how they saved me, but they did. They kept me from making steps maybe that would have been bad for me, you know. I would have ended up really dying, not listening to them. I always went to the rocks. You know, I have to be honest. Yes. It started early with me. I say, Mom. Hey, Mom. Hey, what's going on with me? I saw this. And I tried to explain it to her. And sadly, because the reality of the material world, the elements that we have and keeping ourselves alive, yes, and managing what we call our human environs, yes, right? They take over and become possibly resident and becoming dominant really in how we view the world. You know, my instincts were rooted to the soil. I had not the cares of that other part. So I had a different view. Yes. You know, and I still somehow have it.
I think
I
so.
haven't lost it. I mean, I'm hanging on to that for dear life because that's my soul's salvation. It is. I can't help it. I don't want to give it up. I won't let anyone corrupt that for me. I won't.
Like the hand outstretched in offering, 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 offering.